love doesn't come from us, it comes through us. Love comes from God. So we allow love to come through us to another person. So I don't think we really have the the authority to love or not love or to turn off love. I think the only thing that can stop you from loving a person, once you let that love flow out of you to that person or towards that person, you'll always love that individual unless you begin to fear them. Because hate is not the opposite of love. You can hate somebody and love somebody, but you cannot fear someone and love them. So anybody you ever love, unless you fear this person, truly fear this person, you still love them. You know, I love all my friends. I love anybody I've ever loved. I still love them. Has nothing to do with my relationship with my wife. Has nothing to do with my obligation to my wife. You know, even past girlfriends. I love them. I love them all. Anyone I ever loved, I still love them. My friends, even the ones that turned on me, that did things, I still love them. I don't deal with them. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, love is a whole nother thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's not conflate it. Let's not mix them with anything else. Love is love. It just has nothing to do with your decisions on how you deal with an individual. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what love got to do with it? What, you know what I'm saying? All that, like, and we talk about all those things. What love got to do with it? And not to say that love is,
I mean,
is
it's a
irrelevant.
non-factor.
Yeah, it's not to say that, but I think it's way misplaced. It's prioritized way out of order.
And that's definitely a modern thing. I mean, marriages in most cultures, um, love is not really part of the equation as far as finding a spouse and choosing a spouse. I think love grows and develops over time. And it's expected to grow and develop over time, but that's not, you know, a primary factor in choosing a spouse. And I don't think it should be. So let me ask you,
Oh, yeah, that's what I've been waiting on. I've been waiting on this part. Come on.
when we decided to get married, were you in love with me?
I think so. Um, yeah, I was. I remember. I never forget. I was listening to music, and I remember pulling over at a gas station or a parking lot. So I was just driving. I just jumped out, got on the trunk of the car, and I had the music playing. I cut the video on, and I was just singing to you, and I was just all into the feeling and everything. Like, but that was before. By the time we actually got married, I was past that. But I had went through a phase where I just knew, like, I was just enjoyed that. Hey, I found my wife. I knew it. I was
Okay.
just elated, and I went
Yeah.
through that little phase, but it wasn't. It didn't. Maybe a couple weeks of that,
Okay,
and
well.
then but I was 30 years old.
Yeah.
I was committed to the Most High. I think I had a firm understanding of what marriage is and was.
Mhm.
Um, the fact that you were pursuing God on your own, separate from me, uh, was a huge factor. The fact that you appreciated that I was pursuing God, and I think that factored into you. That factored in for me that that you value my pursuit of God and my
Mhm.
relationship with God. So, um, on top of that night we spent having that conversation, and that's when I first knew. But at the same time, had you not received the word of God as I was taught and teaching you, then I knew I wasn't going to marry you.
Mhm.
So, uh, but I mean, I made a decision. It
Mhm.
was a choice.
But the
I'm going to marry
decision
this
was
woman.
not based on.
How I felt and all that love stuff. No,
Mhm.
no, no. I mean, it was good to have that feeling and to know that I
Yeah.
felt that way about you, but it wasn't based on that. That was just that's.
Mhm.
I feel like that's like a byproduct of a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like this is my philosophy. Love doesn't come from us; it comes through us. Love comes from God. So we allow love to come through us to another person. So I don't think we really have the the authority to love or not love or to turn off love. I think the only thing that can stop you from loving a person, once you let that love flow out of you to that person or towards that person, you'll always love that individual unless you begin to fear them. Because hate is not the opposite of love. You can hate somebody and
Mhm.
love somebody, but you cannot fear someone and love them.
Mhm.
So anybody you ever loved, unless you fear this person, truly fear this person, you still love them.
Mhm.
You know, I love all my friends. I love anybody I've ever loved. I still love them.
Mm.
Has nothing to do with my relationship with my wife. Has nothing to do with my obligation to my wife. You know, even past girlfriends. I
Mm.
love them. I love them all. Anyone I ever loved, I love. I still love my friends. Even the ones that turned on me, that did thing. I still love them. I don't
Mm-hmm.
deal with them. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
love is it's a whole nother thing. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's not conflated. Let's not mix them with anything else. Love is love. It just has nothing to do with your decisions on how you deal with an individual.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I feel. That's my little philosophy about love.
Yeah.
So in a relationship, whether like arranged marriages, they work because people have a sense of obligation and duty. The love can come. That's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You can grow to love a person. You can grow to love a dog.
Mm-hmm.
People grow to love flowers and objects that don't even live. Right? You can develop an affinity for anything.
Yeah.
That's a choice. So it doesn't trump or negate obligation, responsibility, and duty. And I think
Mm.
that's what marriage is really about. That's the foundation and the purpose of marriage. Because we're procreating and we're taking these souls that God has given us and we're rearing them up to
Mm.
continue to live, to continue to serve God, and to continue to be a light in a world of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Because according to the scriptures, the end won't come until all the souls come into the earth. In Revelation, they say, God, how long do we have to wait for you to avenge our death? He said, hey, just gotta let everything gotta play out. It's still souls that have to come into the earth. Still people that gotta be born. They still have to run their race and fight their fight.
Mm.
Everybody has to have the opportunity to go and be with God for all eternity.
Mm.
So us having children is part of that process.
Mm.
That's the bigger picture, and I think that's why it's important to have God, family, nation, God, Christ, man, woman, child, to have that understanding of the flow and the purpose of life and what we're doing and the purpose of marriage. Like you have to understand these things. It's not Marriage is not something that's supposed to just make you happy and just complete you. It's a purpose for it. There's a reason for it.
Mm-hmm. And it's
And
part of a bigger picture.
yeah, it's not for you. It's not it's not only solely for you. But in that, in saying all that, right? Because a lot of that might sound harsh or sound dry, sound even robotic. But in that, I do like you.
Thank
Um, I feel like, and I say this to people all the time, so I have no problem saying it here. I said to you, but I really truly feel like God gifted you to me. You were a gift for me, right? I would have chose something that was not as good for my life and my person, and then that was I would have chose the lesser for me. I would have picked something I wanted or what I thought I wanted, and not what I needed and what was more beneficial. So in life, in our 11 years, I don't think there's a month. It used to be a week. Now it's like a month. It might become 3 months. I don't know.
you. Uh-oh.
But there's not a long period of time that goes by that just watching you be you, it doesn't remind me of, why I married you, why I'm happy, why like my choice. It's just I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
That's
would have
sweet.
I'm reminded regularly that I would have chose worse. I wouldn't have chose as good. So, um, you know, I think I don't know this. I want to ask you this too, because it seems like some of the stuff you do, um, that makes you a good wife, in my opinion. I don't necessarily feel like you do it for me. This is my thoughts, and you can confirm this or not. I feel like as a child, you said to yourself, "When I get married, I'm gonna be this kind of wife," and then you just like do these things because you purpose to do them before you ever met me. Or is it you saying I'm married now, I'm gonna be a wife to this man, and so you do these things to be a wife to me? How did that work?
I don't feel like I ever contemplated as a child what kind of wife am I gonna be. Uh, like mm, I think me personally, like I have a. Some people are people pleasers,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I'm a people pleaser. Um,
Well, I'm tell you, don't please people. Don't do that. Please. Me, I understand, but not people.
well,
No, I get what you're saying. But yeah,
so I think
that's part
that
of the
being part of my
personality.
nature, part of
Yeah.
my personality. So naturally, I try to please you because you're one of the most important people in my life.
I'm one of the most important people in
I
your
can't
life.
say the most important
What?
person in my
I don't know how long we're gonna be married after this. No, I'm just go ahead.
So I think that's part of it. And then also, I'm kind of an overachiever. I can be. I feel like I used to be. Now that I got 4 children, and my burden is heavy. I don't try to be an overachiever in a lot of areas, but like I desire to do my best,
Yeah.
put forth my full effort, and so being a wife, like I want to do this right. I want to get it. I want to do my best.
You just made me think of something else too. Um,